Hello, Team Rainbows and Pixie Dust. How is everybody doing? Once you're on, jump on and say hi so I can see if I'm reading comments. And then also, if you're watching the replay. So go ahead and let us know that you're watching the replay. So, quick introduction. I am Brittany. Hey, Laura. Yay, I'm glad I can see comments. I am Brittany Medke. I am a Sapphire National executive with Color Street and really good friends with your guys' leader, Essie. So I was super, excited that we're kind of just helping each other. And of course, do whatever I can. Hey, yay, people are on. Wow, this is impressive. Okay, so I'm just going to give a little brief background. So I was asked to do a training specifically on social media tips and being relatable. My main focus is going to be Facebook for a few reasons. It has right now at this time the largest reach for people, and it's kind of the easiest platform. And hey, Kimberly, and I believe that you should master one platform before you move to another platform. And Facebook personal page should be the first one you master. Thanks, Ashley. Definitely Harry Potter fan. So we're going to talk about that. A little background is I joined this company with like no history or prior direct sales experience. So like I kind of did have to figure out how to grow my network, and it was all via online or social media. I do not have any like top leaders that are local to me. They're all states away. So it was done kind of by meeting people through social media, and mine was definitely Facebook and personal page, and just kind of like making relationships that way. The number one rule when you are on social media and Facebook is you're definitely going to want to be relatable. So that's kind of what I'm going to be the main focus of this training, is how to be relatable. So I looked up what relatable meant, because I was just like, what does that really mean? And it's like enabling a person to feel like they can relate to someone or something. So you want to make someone feel like they can relate to you. And why do we want to do that? Because it helps with the connection, and it helps you be like likable and real. And people are automatically drawn to someone that they connect with. And as far as like any MLMs and as Color Street, like there may be a few people doing it, but so you want to kind of set yourself apart and make yourself a little bit more relatable and likable in that way. One of my main things, and I've done a lot of incorrect things in the past as far as like trying to promote this business, but one of my biggest things is we don't want to be like spammy, right? We don't want to be spammy with Color Street, and kind of think about what attracted you to the person you signed up to. And there's going to be things that people disagree with, but I feel that one of my big tips is we should not have the business that we're in our profile pic, our cover pic, and our bio, unless you are already like at the top of the comp plan. You shouldn't have just like a generic graphic in your bio, your profile picture, because what happens is you kind of just like give it all away. You're giving too much information away before people get to know you. When you send that friend request to someone, they're going to automatically think you're just friend requesting them to sell to them. So I'm not saying don't like, and an example of like a profile picture I would think would be okay is maybe like you always want your face in there, or like your kids, and if you wanted to show off your nails, something fun, because that kind of generates curiosity, which can lead to questions. But if you put just like a I don't have like just like a strips, or just strips with no face or something, people can just go to Google, figure out about Color Street, and look it up that way. And it doesn't really encourage people to reach out to you and learn to you, and it's kind of a put off, actually. So like that's one of the main things as far as being spammy. And I'm gonna, in a little bit, I'm gonna do a breakdown on like how I train my team on how posts should be on your wall. So I'm gonna get to that, and that's kind of like how to not be super spammy with Color Street, but still like use that attraction rather than promotion is kind of what I say. I've learned that from the 12-step fellowship I'm in, and it's kind of the same thing there, but like we want to attract people to Color Street without like promoting it and being like super annoying based on our lifestyle, based on, you know, personal things that we do. And I will say, like, I've had people that told me they picked me to be their sponsor because they noticed a change in me, and that had to be through my posts, you know, getting a little bit more personal and real. Someone that I follow has this quote, so I'm going to share it because like it really like resonated with me. People will not buy your success until they buy your failure. So talk twice as much about your failures. Being relatable creates massive attraction for you. So they're not going to buy your success until they buy your failures. Any one of you, if you're not already a friend with me on Facebook, you can click follow. I'm very, very open about my past struggles, and I think that is what attracted people to, you know, want me to sponsor them. So I've been in the business about 18 months, and I've personally sponsored around 70 or so people. And I really truly believe it was because I was real and authentic about the struggles in my life. People are more attracted to your mess, the funny stuff, the hard times. And then when you do win or have some, you know, some type of success, they are more apt to celebrate it with you and not feel like resentful or jealous or think it's super fake. I'm very open about things in my past as far as like drug addiction. I was very open to the fact that my family was on government assistance, you know, before Color Street took off took off for us. Like we were on food stamps and we were on Medicaid. And I think like when you make a post about how the business is helping you, it's so important to always share with that grateful heart and kind of mention where you came from. And that makes the post more relatable when you talk about like where you came from. If you're just out there like blasting how great things are, that actually does the opposite for you. Because, you know, like people are just so much attracted much more when you come from like a humble heart and a grateful heart. And like I said, like just being able to share your truth, you know, that things aren't always perfect. That's what makes us relatable. Seeing that like people that you look up to are human and they go through the same things. And I still have to struggle with that. You know, I'm currently like going through a divorce, and I had to make the decision whether or not to post that. And I decided to because, you know, when I posted that was going on, for one thing, you know, I wanted to stop any rumors, but also like I had people message me and they're like, oh wow, like I would have never thought that. I've gone through that too. And, you know, just being able to like show that real true part of yourself. Like Essie, you know, she talks a lot about how it was with her corporate job and, you know, with her son and childhood cancer and that pain. You know, she's had some tough, you know, things lately. And I think that's what, when we share like pain that we're going through and stuff, people really, really relate to that. And so that allows us to be able to share our successes. So like people, you know, are more able to clap for us when they know where we came from. A lot of times people don't like to share that. So when they do share their success, it looks really obnoxious and not relatable. So I do love the part about like people will not buy your success until they bought your failure. Like I would never want anyone to think that I just came into this business and was a rock star. I let everyone know that I had slow starts. I still have parties where nobody buys anything. I still have people that took like a year to join. You know, I didn't hit my first rank for 5 months. Like, I want everyone to know that that is more realistically how it works, you know, because it makes me relatable, right? And I think that's what draws people. Of course, we want to keep our social media a positive space, though. So I'm not saying go on your Facebook and like do like a Dear John letter and like talk about how horrible your life was and, you know, like that. I'm not saying do that. But I'm just saying like sprinkle a little bit in, because we always want like to offer the strength and the hope. So we're not just going to be like total Debbie Downers. Like, we want to offer like our experience with something that was horrible, our strength, something, you know, that we learned from it, and our hope, because we want to be offer hope for people in the future. So if that makes sense, like, you always kind of want to end it on a positive note, because if you're just going on Facebook and being like super negative and depressing, and you aren't like, you know, offering hope or in the solution, then people are not going to want to follow you. They're going to think like you're super negative. A couple other tips that I have as far as like being relatable, but like on your social media, and you want to keep it a positive space. Like, there's things that I had to change. A big thing was like, you never want to talk about politics. And I know people don't always agree with that. It's a very heated topic, and not just politics, anything that could be considered divisive. Hey, Aaron, like, you do not want to talk about like your view on stuff. Like, yeah, we know like politics can like be very divisive. There's things that are going on that people either love or they hate. That's fine. And I'm not saying be a sellout, because I've had people call me a sellout because I used to be very politically outspoken. But what I've learned is my social media now represents me and my business, and I want it to be a positive space, not a space where people can go back and forth and like call people negative, horrible names, and like be a sense of like frustration. And then also like, that isn't doing anything. So how I justify now not being politically outspoken on social media is because like the money I've made from this company, I can now actually donate it to causes and to people that like actually take action to kind of help things. I can put my money where my mouth is, or I can like take time to like knock on doors and stuff. So that's how like I can make myself feel better, because sometimes we'll be like, well, you know, if we're not saying anything, but no, there's ways to do it and like not like hurt people's feelings and not be divisive about it. Because at the end of the day, like, who said, Heather, you learned a political lesson the hard way? I did too. Like, I had someone in the beginning that was going to join my team, and I said something, you know, the opposite of what she believed, and she like unfriended me, and I learned the hard way. Like, we want our social media to be a positive space, and like action, not words. And like, just having a post on your page that's just going to cause bickering back and forth, whether it's like vaccines or, you know, anything that can be like that, just takes time from you too. And then it draws people to, first it separates like 50% of the people that may have related to you are gone. You know what I mean? You just randomly shared a meme and had a host cancel. Oh, yeah, Heather, exactly. Yeah, because like we all feel, you know, a lot of people feel very hard about, you know, that's like strongly about certain things. And so it's not good for business. And honestly, I don't think it's good for your energy. And like I said, I get a lot more satisfaction being able to like take action anyways, rather than just like spend hours bickering about it. So I definitely would stay away from any like divisive political posts, anything like, you know, anything like that. And so I did talk about like your Facebook profile, how you want to make sure, like I would suggest, like I said, not having anything that specifically mentions Color Street in your profile picture, your cover picture, or your bio, like no links. And I said the reason why is because you want to kind of like, people aren't going to want to accept your friend request if they think you're selling to them. And also like, you just want to kind of create curiosity. We're curiosity marketing. Yeah, Cameron, if I find a meme I think is funny, I do save it, and then I'll send it to some of my friends personally, but definitely not posting it. And then you have to be careful on even what you comment on. Like, if you comment on certain news stories that are, like, public, and, like, say something like, oh, yeah, blah, 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 like, that will show up in other people's feeds. So you just have to be careful about all that stuff. So another thing as far as when you're on social media and kind of like your goal is you want to build long-term authentic relationships. It's not something that happens overnight, and this is going to be helpful for, like, you know, if you're looking to build a team, if you're looking to get new customers, or, you know, if you're looking for party hostesses, and ways to just, like, kind of open the door in that. We have so many friends, right, on Facebook. Like, do you talk to every single one of them? I don't. But